Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. We are talking about 40 akusala cetasika. 40 akusala cetasika. So we can divide into 4 groups. So the first group, delusion, shamelessness, fearlessness of wrongdoing, and restlessness. So these 4 akusala cetasikas will arise whenever you do unwholesome deed. Before you do unwholesome deed, So these are the root of your unwholesome thought, unwholesome speech, and unwholesome action. Another group is Lobha group. We call it Lobha group. Greed, wrong view, conceit, or mana. Actually, we can translate as a egocentric comparison or comparing mind. So today we'll continue to study this one. We call it Lobha group. Lobha, Daithi, Mana. Another group is Dosa group. Hatred, avarice, envy, worry. Another one, the last group, sloth, toba, and doubt. Altogether 40. So all these 40 can be summarized into 3. We call it 3 fires, right? Lobha, Dosa, Moha. Okay, today we study mana, conceit. Simply we translate it conceit. Mana is popularly translated as a conceit. Last week I already explained, conceit. So normally, Abhidhamma text normally define the word mana in terms of superiority complex. Superiority complex. You have a mana, so when you are higher in terms of status, in terms of wealth, and in terms of knowledge, etc. So therefore, commentary, normally they compare mana with the flag waving in the air. Somebody who has a mana, normally arrogant, not polite, not humble, right? So therefore, many Abhidhamma writers, including English translators, they use the word mana as a conceit. Actually, according to suttas, not only Abhidhamma, but also the suttas, mana, the word mana, not just only sorry, I'm very, very difficult to pronounce. Superiority complex. Not only that, so literal meaning of mana is comparing or comparison. Normally, mana is happening all the time. It's a kind of, it became unconscious mind. When you are taking a bath, you compare somebody beside you, somebody in front of you, right? In the family, you compare with your brother, sisters, right? With your relatives, etc. So therefore, we have to be very careful about comparing mind. Mana is a comparing mind. And some of the scholars, they use the word comparing mind. I prefer to use the word comparing mind other than conceit. But I want to use, of course, it will be much more precise if we use the word egocentric comparison. Egocentric comparison. Mana associated with chetas, rooted in greed. Loba cheta, according to Abhidhamma. In other words, we can call it an ego. Ego here means loba, loba. You are selfish. You just look at your opinion, you just look at your standpoint. You don't look at the opinion of other people. You don't look at the standpoint of other people, right? In English, we call it if you can put your feet on that is the English idiom we have a putting oneself in another shoe, right? Putting oneself in another shoe, right? So that means you don't have mana, sympathy, empathy in your mind. You can put yourself in another person, another person's shoe. So here, if you are egocentric, if you are selfish, you cannot put yourself in another people's possession, right? So that's mana. It is a comparison between oneself and others based on ego or based on lobha in terms of status. In the office, right? So you may have a comparing mind. This person is higher, this person is lower. But based on lobha, right? Based on lobha. Don't talk to me. I am higher than you in terms of status. So there's no humility, or right? No gentleness. In terms of possession, in terms of wealth, it normally happens if you are richer, right? If you are rich, normally you may have a arrogant mind. You may have an arrogant mind, so we have to look at our mind, right? Look at our mind. But we look at according to superior possession, right? Normally, if we are lower, we also compare with other people. Oh, I am poor. So they are very rich. Then there is an inferior mind in your inferior mind. So you cannot approach to them. They are not to talk to them, right? They are not to associate with them. So that is also mana, because it's comparing based on ego, right? Based on ego. So in terms of knowledge, don't explain me. I am more knowledgeable than you are. You are like that, right? So even the knowledge, right? So therefore in Patthana, so we have a Panya, Naisaya, Mananchapeti. So based on knowledge, comparing mind arise. Comparing mind arise. So therefore, some knowledgeable people, they are arrogant, right? So they are arrogant. So they are not, their mind is not gentle and not polite, and also not flexible, because of mana, this one, right? In terms of beauty, similarly, when somebody is very beautiful and handsome, like that, superiority complex may arise. So here, if we talk about comparing mind, so we have to bear in our mind, comparing with the wisdom or understanding is not a mana. Comparing yourself with other people based on lobha or based on ego is a mana. If you compare, of course we need to compare, right? We need to compare with ourselves and other people, right? So if you compare with the understanding or wisdom, it's not an ego. It's not an ego. That's very important. So you may compare with the poor people. You understand that they are poor. Then not based on ego. Because of understanding, you may have a sympathy in your mind, compassion in your mind. So you will help them as much as possible, right? So that is a comparing mind. You're trying to compare your life and the life of other people. And your possession and possession of other people. Your knowledge and the knowledge of other people, right? You can compare the knowledge of yourself and the knowledge of other people, right? You must know it. If other people are more knowledgeable than you have to approach, right? You have to ask and discuss with them. If you have a mana, you cannot approach normally, right? Normally you cannot approach. So it happened, it happened to many people. So that means if we compare with the wisdom or understanding, it's not a mana, it's a very important one. People may think that if so, we don't need to compare. No, you can compare with the understanding, wisdom, mindfulness, sympathy, compassion, right? In my previous lesson, I talked about Singaporean mother, right? So she taught to her children. She bring them to poor countries and she show them, appreciate your life, right? By looking at them. So that means she is not belittling or looking down to the poor country or people from poor country. She just want to, actually she is helping them and let her children see, the opportunity here and the life here. So in that way, her children appreciate the life. So that means comparing with the sympathy, compassion, mindfulness. Most importantly, understanding or wisdom. So just like okay. In the suttas, mana is listed in 3 types. Actually, this is very important in Buddhist psychology. I would say the Buddhist psychology. The Buddha say not only conceit, mana can be 3 types. Number 1, superiority complex, saya mana. So that means if you are higher than other people, if you compare lower people based on your ego, I am higher than you, don't talk to me like that, right? I am richer than you, don't associate with me, like that. I am more beautiful than you, more handsome than you, don't try to compare with me, based on ego, right? His beauty, his wealth, possession, like that, right? So that is a superiority complex, siyamana. Another one is equality complex, sadisamana. When you are attending one class, right? So when your classmate is talking something, so you may have equality complex in your mind. Don't treat me like that. We are attending the same class. And don't talk to me like that. We have the same possession in the office, right? In the office. Don't Don't teach me like that. Don't treat me like that. We are sister and brother like that, right? Equality complex, right? Equality complex. Don't talk to me like that. I am also a monk, you also a monk. Equality, right? So that me, ego, based on ego, right? Based on lobha. Lobha to yourself. Equality complex. Sarisamana. So therefore, so when you look at the children in the class, equality complex, right? So therefore they are fighting each other. But there will be the one time, and one person was defeated, you know. More powerful one, more, how to say, powerful one were defeat, you know. Then only equality complex subsided, maybe inferiority complex, right? Inferiority complex. Sorry that my pronunciation not very good. Inferiority complex, hinamana. So this one, hinamana, also very destructive, very destructive. So when you compare with other people who are richer than you, who are higher possession than you, you may have inferior mind, you know. In psychology, they call it inferiority complex. Psychology normally talk about only one and two. It does not talk about number two. Sorry, 1 in 3. They do not talk about number 2, equality complex. Negative aspect of comparison based on ego, based on lobha, is unwholesome mental state. That means you can compare with somebody higher than you, appreciate that, and acknowledge they are higher. And you can compare with understanding somebody who is richer, you appreciate their property, you know, they are richer than me. Accept it, appreciate it. So later I will talk about how to remove our complex in our mind, our mana in our mind. So now 3 types of complex are superiority, equality, and inferiority complex. So they are psychological barriers for a healthy relationship with other people, right? Really destructive in our relationship. Two siblings, brother and sisters, they grown up together. One became very rich, another stay poor. If you have this complex, this mana, then you cannot talk to them each other, right? That's because of mana. So the poor one cannot appreciate, you know, the richness of the other person. So that means inferiority complex will arise, because he trying to compare with his brother or sisters based on ego, right? I am poor. I don't care. I will not talk to him first. Only if he talk to me, I will talk to that person, right? Inferior mind. And also, the rich one will look at the poor one. Why? My brother doesn't talk to me. Why he doesn't talk to me? If he is not, if my brother is not treating me closely or I will not treat him in the same way. Then relationship became worse and worse, right? So because of mana, in other words, complex. So it is a barrier in our life, a healthy relationship with other people, right? Other people. Many of our problems in the family, in our job, in our day-to-day life, stem from egocentric comparison. Mana. Right? Mana. So normally, mana is very like a unconscious mind, unconscious mind, driven our mind, our behavior. So when you look at your mind, you will see it. You are comparing with your brother, with your sisters, with your relatives, right? With your friends in the temple. Mana is one of the 7 latent dispositions, in other words, underlying tendencies. We call it in Pali anusaya, in our mind. Underlying tendency, deep inside our mind. It is a negative, unconscious mind. I will say that, I will use the word unconscious mind, according to Western psychology. Because that mana, that unconscious mind, trigger automatic comparison with other people. Normally, when somebody meet, then you start to compare, right? Because of this mana, unconscious mind. It's almost automatic. As I earlier said, that when you're sitting on the train, you compare in terms of clothing. My clothes is more expensive than the person sitting next to me. Handphone. I can use the latest, latest handphone. Latest model, I can use latest model. Then you compare with the somebody near you, right? If you compare based on lobby, my handphone is the latest model. Then the other person cannot use, right? Automatic. But if you compare your handphone with that of other people, based on understanding or mindfulness or sympathy, it's not a mana, right? Mana. Only if you compare based on ego, right? Based on ego. So therefore, we can see that mana, deep inside our mind, unconscious mind. It is automatic. It triggers automatic comparison with other people. And also other things, right? Normally, you compare your house and the house of other people. The house of the neighbors, right? The house of your friend. If you are not mindful, then you may compare with the lobby, right? My furniture is better than yours. Like that, right? My furniture, my TV, right? My car, better than yours. So that is a mana. You're talking, you're behaving based on mana. Comparing mind. So therefore, if you are talking to your friend, my car is better than yours, right? Your friend may not like it, right? Then it destroys your relationship. Mana, comparing mind, very dangerous. Most of our problems originate from this egocentric comparison. Egocentric comparison. Okay. Then I will explain the word complex according to dictionary, in psychology. Actually, I do not know much. I do not know much about psychology. Only a few things. Because when I talk about mana, then I'm trying to study some of the psychology teachings. So, what is the complex according to Wisdom Dictionary? A particular anxiety or unconscious fear that a person has. So here, anxiety, unconscious fear in our mind. Especially as a result of unpleasant experience in our life that they have had in the past, or because they have a low opinion of their own worth, right? Their own worth. Suppose among your friends, you're poor when you're young. You're poor when you're young. Then you have an inferior mind. My friends, you look at your friends, they're very rich, right? Very rich. Then you try hard, try. Then you became very rich, richer than your friend. Then you start to compare, with your friends. You're trying to buy expensive car. You're trying to buy expensive house. You're trying to use branded clothing, right? That when you are meeting with your friend, you intentionally do it because of anxiety in your mind, because of unconscious fear in your mind. Fear that your friend may think you are poorer than your friend, right? Unconscious fear. So that means you're not secure in your mind. Your mind is not secure. You have unconscious fear in your mind. My friend may think I am still poorer than them, So because of that, you are using expensive wine. You are showing off, right? Showing off your richness. Because of that, then your friend may think, oh, this guy competing us, right? Then because of that, they will start to stay away from you. So relationship, right? Relationship. You look at your ego, right? You look at yourself. When I'm young, poor. So they look down on me. But right now I became very rich. So you're trying to, separate to them. Because of that, unconscious fear arises. Anxiety in your mind arises. So therefore, when you look at people who want to show off, they have a kind of unconscious fear in their mind, right? So they want other people to impress them, They want to impress other people, Unconscious fear because of mana. That's the wisdom psychology. And what is a superiority complex? A feeling that you are better or more important than other people. often as a way of hiding your feelings of failure. When you are young, you are poor, and later you become very rich, right? Then you spend a lot of money to impress other people, to impress your friend. Sometimes without any necessity, right? So, superiority complex, right? So, we'll be very careful. Another one, this is from Wikipedia. Superiority complex is either developed from a defensive need, Sometimes we can call it defensive mechanism, defensive mechanism to overcome inferiority or constant overwhelming feeling in which an individual feels truly superior to others. You are richer compared to them. You're richer compared to them. But you have inferior mind when you are young, right? When you are young. So you want to defend, You want to defend it. So defensive need. Right now, you are no longer poor, Like that. You want to defend. Actually, it happens, most of the time in our mind, right? In our mind. In our mind. Somebody who is generous, right? Normally generous. And the other person is not. The other person is not. So when the general person talk about generosity, and the other one will defend, right? The other way around, like that. Defensive need. So another one is inferiority complex, a feeling that you are not as good as other people, as important as other people, as intelligent as other people. So this one, you are really lower than other people, right? Normally, if you are not mindful, comparing mind will arise. You start to compare with other people, those who are important in one place. And you want to show that you are also important without any necessary, You have to make a lot of effort. You have to spend a lot of money that you want to show you are important person in your job, in your house, in your temple, in your country, right? Inferiority complex. So therefore, we have to be very careful. So when you are comparing with other people, whether they are higher or lower or equal, then mana actually very easy to arise because it is one of the underlying tendency. In other words, in Western psychology, unconscious mind, Unconscious mind. In 2020, I talk about unconscious mind because somebody asked me. And so one of the unconscious mind is mana, underlying tendency. We have 7 type of underlying tendency deep inside our mind. Deep inside our mind, Then right now, maybe I will. What's the question up to here? Later I will talk about how to overcome comparing mind. Any question? No question, okay. Then how to overcome, especially superiority complex and inferiority complex. How to overcome it. See, I think this one is the Buddhist way of overcoming, overcoming. Number one, you must know your life and your own realities. If you are rich, you must know you're rich. If you are poor, you must know that you're poor. If you are knowledgeable, you know that you're knowledgeable. If you are not, you know that you are not knowledgeable. You are educated or uneducated, like that. You're beautiful or ugly. So you have to know. And you have to accept it. That's very important. If you are ugly, just accept you are ugly. If you are poor, just accept you're poor. Similarly, if you are beautiful, just accept you're beautiful, like that. So therefore, acceptance is very important. Acceptance will make you feel better in your life, feel lighter in your life. At the same time, you must be able to see the real quality of other people. You must know and you must see the real quality of other people. If they are rich, so you must know that. And must evaluate them as such without any bias. So when other people are more beautiful than you, more handsome than you, acknowledge and try to evaluate in a correct way, without any bias. And you can compare with your classmate, and my friend is more intelligent than me. My friend can understand the Dhamma very well. Otherwise, you will have a jealousy in your mind, right? Jealousy in your mind. Don't compare with others based on ego. So the first thing is you have to know your life, your reality, and you have to accept it. At the same time, you must understand the quality and also possession of other people. So you have to evaluate without any bias. Don't try to compare based on ego, selfish mind, based on lobha. You can compare with other people with the wisdom, understanding, sympathy, etc. If others are inferior or lower than you, just know that they are lower than you. They are inferior to you. Trying to show your compassion, sympathy to them. That's very important. Compassion, karuna, right? Karuna. Sympathy, anudaya. Don't belittle those unfortunate people. Don't belittle somebody who do not understand the teaching, like that, right? Don't belittle somebody who is poor. Don't belittle the person who is lower in possession than you in the office, like that. So that's very important. Compassion, right? Karuna. Sympathy. In that way, superiority complex will not take place in your mind. Even though actually you are superior, you are more you're richer, more handsome, more knowledgeable. But when you are seeing inferior people, lower people, compassion, wisdom, understanding. So in that way, you do not become arrogant or conceit. You become humble, polite, right? So therefore, in the politics, in a surface level, right? Normally the politicians are very polite, right? So they are trying to shake hands with the normal people, right? So anyway, it's a kind of showing compassion and sympathy, right? Empathy. Superiority complex. Then, if others are superior, higher than you, you need to acknowledge and you need to appreciate their superior possession, right? When somebody is richer than you, appreciate. When somebody is higher status in the office, appreciate, right? Appreciate. When somebody is more famous in your office, and when somebody is have a lot of a lot of people, a lot of friends in the office, trying to acknowledge and trying to appreciate his or her qualities. That's very important. Appreciation. So here, in Pali, we call it mudita, right? Mudita. Altruistic joy. Let altruistic joy, mudita, arise in your mind. Don't let jealousy come in. So, jealous mind, create a lot of problem. You can compare with actually look at your mind with your family members, brother and sister, right? Brother and sisters. Normally, when your brother is richer than you, normally jealousy may arise, Jealousy may arise. And your colleague promoted, got more salary, more money. Jealousy may arise, right? Jealousy may arise. So that inferiority complex will arise in your mind. If he or she is promoted, just appreciate, just accept it, right? It doesn't mean you give up, no. You can try, right? Appreciate, acknowledge, so they are better than you, right? Even though they are not better, if they are promoted, just appreciate, right? What you can do is you let altruistic joy arise. So that doesn't mean you give up. You try, by yourself, you try hard to become like them, So therefore, acknowledgement or acceptance is very important. If you don't have acceptance, even, among the brothers and sisters, there will be a lot of tension, right? A lot of tension in the family because of comparing mind. That's it. So therefore, comparing mind or mana destroy our life, our relationship. So in that way, there is no chance for inferiority complex to sneak into your mind. It's very easy to arise, those complex in our mind, if we are not mindful. So therefore, meditation will help you a lot to sort those unconscious mind, In Pali, we call it anusia, underlying tendency or latent disposition. Deep inside our mind. If we are not mindful, then those comparing mind automatically arises, right away. You're driving. Somebody also driving. Stop at the traffic jam. You look at, other people's car, start to compare, based on ego, If your car is better than that guy, look at, my car is better than you, Then you drive and you move to another traffic jam. Another car come near to your car. Very expensive car, Lamborghini, right? Wow. You're trying to compare based on ego, right? In the first place, superiority complex. Second place, inferiority complex. So therefore, our mind is shaking most of the time because of this mana, right? So, okay, any questions? So this is it. When you look at here, you can see the word compassion, gruna, right? Compassion. When somebody is inferior to you or lower than you, you have compassion in your mind. There's no attitude, mental attitude in your mind to belittle upon them, So you accept you are superior. Then altruistic joy. You appreciate his or her possession, status. Altruistic joy, mudita will arise. You can see, right? So, together with compassion, altruistic joy, we can call it metta, or loving kindness. So, loving kindness here means you have a sincere wish for the welfare and happiness for other people. You have a compassion in your mind because you have a sincere wish for the inferior person, right? You have a sincere wish for the superior people, like that, metta. So you can, by that time, you don't have a mana, comparing mind based on lobha because of equanimity. You can balance your emotion, Equanimity, balancing your emotion. Equanimity arises because of mindfulness, because of wisdom. So therefore, in Kalama Sutta, the Buddha talked about 4 sublime states, right? 4 divine dwelling, metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, as a way of life, If you can live with the 4 sublime states, metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, then your life you become a noble person. You become like a Brahma, So your life will be very, very peaceful. So when you look at Kalama Sutta, you can see that the Buddha show a Buddhist way of life. Here also, you see only compassion and altruistic joy. But we can understand metta, upekkha also included here, right? Here. Okay, any question? I hope you understand. Okay, then we'll study another type of mana. Mana is so subtle that it is eradicated only when one becomes an arahant. Even non-returner, anagami still be mana. Comparing mind, Comparing mind. Normally, I explain the life of Venerable Anuruddha. Venerable Anuruddha became non-returner, anagami, And he thinks that if I practice meditation, I can become an arahant right away, easily. He thinks that becoming arahant for him is very easy. So instead of practicing vipassana, he trying to sharpen his jhana and his, we call it a paññāna, for performing miracles. Especially he is expert to see the life, his life and the life of other people. So that means instead of practicing vipassana, he trying to practice jhana, as well as he trying to sharpen his performing of miracles, especially seeing his life and also the life of other people. Then later he started to practice vipassana, but he couldn't become an arahant. He tried hard, but he couldn't become an arahant. And he approached Venerable Sariputta, asked the reason why it is difficult for him to become an arahant. And he said that, Bhante Sariputta, I can see, I can see 10,000 world system, 10,000 world system. I can see. Actually, my divine eye is so sharp, so powerful that I can see 10,000 world system. In other words, we can call it universe. I can see the universe. I try my best to, when I practice meditation. And also, I wonder why I do not become an arahant. Then Venerable Sariputta said that, Bhante Anuruddha, you are thinking, I can see 10,000 world system. That's mana. He's not comparing with other people. A kind of comparing, right? I can do it, right? Kind of mana arise. And I try my very best. Why I do not become an arahant? That's a restlessness, like that. Because of that, you do not become an arahant. So that means even non-returner, stay with mana. I can, like that. That's a kind of mana, right? It's very subtle case, very subtle one. Very subtle one. I am the most generous one in this temple, generous person in this temple, because I contributed a lot, mana, like that. It's very comparing mind. Normally, deep inside in your mind, comparing with other people, right? So that mana is totally eradicated only when one becomes arahant. So according to Arahanta Sutta here, the Sutta name is Arahanta Sutta. So without removing mana, comparing mind, you cannot become an arahant. And the Buddha said that bhikkhus, without having abandoned 6 things, one is incapable of realizing arahantship. So that means you do not become an arahant without abandoning 6 things. Number 1, conceit, mana. Conceiving oneself better than others. Of course, based on ego. Another one is inferiority complex or mana. Thinking that I am inferior. Based on ego, based on lobha, based on lobha. Another one is arrogant, Abhidhamma. You are so arrogant. The conceit of self-elevation. Number 4, self-overestimation. Self-overestimation, Abhidhamma. Imagining oneself to have attained what one has not really attained. Normally, sometimes we overestimate ourselves, right? Overestimate. So that's a dangerous, dangerous. So here, Abhidhamma sometime, some people think that even though they do not become an arahant, they think they become an arahant. Kind of Abhidhamma. Self-overestimation, Abhidhamma. If you are talking as a monks and nuns, if you are talking to the people that you are an arahant, actually you are not. You know that you are not. You directly or indirectly tell the people that you are an arahant. Even though you offer delicious food, I don't have any attachment. Even though you offer anything, no attachment, I better stay in the forest. Instead, I prefer to stay in the forest instead of staying here. Like that, you're implying that you are an arahant. If you are saying as a monks and nuns, you lost, as a recluseship or monkhood. You became like a lay person. But if you think that you are an arahant, you think that you already attained arahantship. If you are telling other people, okay, stay okay. Because of this one, Abhidhamma. Another one is a obstinacy or hostility caused by anger and conceit. Tamba is very strong one, Some people are very, a lot of conceit in their mind. You can see their face, right? They're very arrogant, and also they show their face, like that. Tamba. And the last one, self-abasement. Atinipada. The mindset that think, I am inferior, occurring in one who is actually inferior. Self-abasement is a kind of, actually I forgot the English word. Anyone who knows the English? When you are approaching people who are richer, you are very poor, A kind of inferior mind. In English is a kind of, I forgot that English word, You cannot approach, dare not to approach and talk to them because you are lower. Self-abasement. Like in a earlier time, black and white, very case is very slave system, right? A very common in the West. So when Abraham Lincoln declared there's no slave system, so everyone is the same. But some slaves, they think that if they are free, they don't have a place to stay. They cannot survive, right? self-abasement, self-abasement. Even though the president declared there's no slave system, no slave in the world, everyone is equal. But some slave, and they trying to defend, that slave system. Self-abasement, right? So if you have such type of self-abasement, then you cannot become an arahant, You cannot become an arahant. So that means comparing mind is very dangerous. Even Nuratana still have comparing mind. Then I want to talk about one thing: mental proliferation. We call it papancha in Pali. Mental proliferation. Our mind proliferate. Exaggerate. Exaggerate because of three. Number one, craving. Number two, conceit. Number three, wrong view. So they are called papancha because they proliferate or prolong samsara, or they prolong our suffering, our problem. Craving. So if you can remove craving, conceit, and wrong view, then it is called nipapancha. So absence of mental proliferation, it is Sanonyo Nibbana. No craving, no conceit, no wrong view. So these three things proliferate or exaggerate your problem, your suffering, such suffering. Papancha. So actually in the Sutta, you will see this line, Abhidhamma. In the second sermon, Nattalakkhana Sutta, this is mine, right? Abhidhamma. This is my house. This is my temple. This is my car, like that. This is my Abhidhamma. One crave for five aggregate. This is my body. This is my clothing, etc., etc. Anything. One crave for five aggregate as mine. Craving. Craving. Then this I am. Iso amasami. One trying to compare with others using five aggregate. Five aggregate means mind and body. I am taller than you, right? You're trying to compare. I am richer than you. I am poor, poorer than you, like that. This I am. The word I am is very dangerous, very dangerous. So because of that, your suffering proliferate, your suffering, decrease. Then, this is mind safe. So, eso me atta. So this one is a wrong view. One identifying five aggregate as a self. So here, self can be a permanent entity. Within that, something is permanent. Permanent entity. And also identity view, because you identify your five aggregate as a whole, as I. As a man or woman, etc. So identity view. So here, wrong view can be two types, normally roughly two types. One is believing five aggregate. One of the five aggregate is permanent, everlasting. So according to Buddhism, there's nothing permanent, right? Nothing is permanent. Otherwise, if you identify five aggregate as you, as a passing, as a whole, as a somebody, somebody like that. Of course, in conventionally, we can say you are good, Conventionally, we can say my parents, my daughter, like that. But there's no passing, right? Just Maya matter, Namarupa. Even as a Buddhist, we will have an identity view, right? Only you become Sotapanna. You can remove it. So these are the five, three mental proliferation, You will see in so many discourses, especially in the second discourse, Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, right? Because of those three things, then our suffering, increasing, So if you can stop, if you can decrease the amount of those three mental state, then our problem will decrease. Okay, so actually this is important. Comparing mind is important to understand, so therefore I'm trying to elaborate. Okay, any question? If you want, then I will move to next one. Okay, question.
I have difficulty to differentiate the inferiority complex and the self-abasement.
Self-abasement is a kind of inferiority complex. Because suppose you have a classmate, your classmates are very rich, you're poor, suppose you're poor. Then if you are comparing with your friend based on your life, based on yourself, then you have a kind of inferior mind, right? Inferior mind, inferiority complex. But if you accept that I cannot become, like them. My life is unfortunate. I cannot surpass, I cannot try to become like them. Like that, right? The self-abasement is, actually you are inferior to them, actually, but deep inside your mind, you think that I cannot do like them, Self-abasement. Like as I earlier said that slave in the United States, right? Even though the president declared there's no slave system, everyone is the same. But some slaves, they're trying to defend their master, their boss. Oh, we cannot become the same like our boss, like that. Self-abasement. So they don't believe that they can try, to become rich person like your friend, like that.
Okay, understood. So the inferiority complex is to acknowledge or accept the fact that I'm inferior. And the self-abasement is saying that I give up, I'm inferior, and I'm not even trying.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Actually, they are the same. Self-abasement is under inferiority complex normally, normally. Okay. Any question? Or any discussion is okay. Okay, no question, then I will continue to teach. Hatred, dosa. I hope I can finish this one today. Actually, most of them I already talked about it. Dosa. Literal meaning of dosa is destructive element. Destructive element. That's the literal meaning. Like a fire, it destroys oneself and others when it arises within. So when you're angry, so that anger destroys you. And you feel angry to your family, your children. Then that dosa, your dosa destroys your children also, right? Other people. Destructive element. It comprises all form of destructive elements, destructive emotions such as hatred to somebody or something, anger, somebody or something, ill will in your mind, resentment, irritation, even slight irritation in your mind, stress, anxiety. So when you have anxiety in your job, you do not like that situation, right? Because of that, anxiety arises. Anxiety. Sorrow. So when you have a sorrow in your mind because you don't like situation you're facing, right? Sorrow in your mind. Fear. Similarly, if you have fear, the ghost, right? You don't like that situation, right? You don't like it. Suppose you are staying in one you are staying in a hot, in any house which is scary, scary. Fear arises. Fear means you don't like that situation, that atmosphere, right? Fear. Depression. Kind of dosa, right? Depression. You don't have situation that you are facing in your job, in your family, among your friends, like that. Depression also kind of dosa. So therefore, we can classify two types of dosa. Dosa is aversion or dislike toward an object. So an object can be the person or the things. The weather, even the weather, right? Or sand, or people. Rejecting toward them, a kind of rejection in your mind. You reject. Somebody came in, Somebody came in, like that. Rejection. So one type is we can simply use it atit dosa. If we are in a position to react the passing of the things that we do not like, we feel angry and outburst. Then you can scold your children, You are in a position, to scold them, You scold or you condemn of a step, if you are in higher place like that, atit dosa. Sometimes you trying to break furniture in your house, right? You are in a position to do that. Nobody will talk to you, like that. When you are angry, atit dosa. Another one is pasit dosa. If we are not in a position to react the object or the person we don't like, we feel depressed, we feel frightened. If you are staying in a scary place, you don't have any possession to control, You are there in a scary place. Then you feel frightened. In your job, your boss forces you to do many things that you cannot do, But you cannot, refuse to do that. You are not in a position to refuse. Depression came in. You're facing a lot of difficulty in your life. you're not in a position to reject them, They're coming into your life. Then depression became. So depression, fear, all these are passive dosa. Sometimes, right? You cannot talk to your boss. You cannot talk to your parents, when you're young. But here, deep inside your mind, a lot of anger, irritation, like that, right? So the passive dosa. Both acid and passive dosa, not good, right? Not good. Two chetas rooted in hatred. We already learned that, right? Dosa mula cheta. One consciousness, number one consciousness accompanied by displeasure. Dosa always displeasure, anywhere. Displeasure. Associated with aversion, a kind of dosa. Unprompted. Unprompted means the degree of motivation is very high. The degree of energy is very high. Viriya. Two, right? Energy, viriya, and motivation, chetana. The second one is one consciousness accompanied by displeasure associated with aversion, prompted. So the degree of your motivation, energy, means the energy is low, Low. Just a little bit of irritation in your mind. Number two, Number two. Higher level of hatred. Number one. I hope I have already talked about this, all right? Writing on the stone. One of the Sutta, the Buddha said that there are three types of people in the world. Number one, the person who is like a line on the stone. Somebody write on the stone. Write a letter on the stone. Just as a line written on the stone. It's not quickly erased by the wind or water, but persists for a long time. So too, some people often get angry, and his anger persists for a long time. A kind of resentment, kind of retaliation, But you write one thing or a thing or a person on the stone. That means on your mind, Retaliate. One day you will retaliate. Resentment in your mind. So you have to evaluate yourself, whether you're writing a letter on the stone. It will persist for a long time. If you have resentment in your mind, then no. When I was young, I was bullied by one of the guys. I think when I was 10 years old, so that guy is stronger than me and also older than me. Then I keep it in my mind. One day I will retaliate. I will fight this guy more. One day, when I become stronger, when I become taller, I will retaliate. Then I keep it for a long time, about 2 years. Then when I was 12 years old, I became a novice samanera. Then I moved to city to learn Buddhist education. Then after learning over 1 year, then I became taller and stronger. I still have this thinking. One day I will retaliate. I will do something to that guy. Then when I came back to my village, he became. I compare with my body and with the guy, getting thinner and also shorter. Then by that time I thought, I am in samanera. It may not be right to do so. If I fight with that guy, then you will separate. Cakkapala fighting with this guy. Because of that one, and I swallow my anger, then no retaliation from the time onward. So that me, of course, sometimes we write a line on the stone, so it passes for a long time. So it's not really good, right? Not really good. So we have to look at our mind. Second one, the person who is like a line on the ground. You write down a line on the ground. The Buddha said, just as a line written on the ground is quickly erased by the wind and water, does not persist for a long time, so too, some person often get angry, but his anger does not persist for a long time. It's good, right? It's good. Some people may get angry, but easily erase. Stay good, right? Another one is the person who is like a line on the water. You write a line on the water. The Buddha said that just as a line written on water quickly disappears, does not persist for a long time, so too, some person, even when spoken to roughly and harshly in disagreeable ways, remain on friendly terms with this antagonist, mingle with him and greet him. That's very important, right? Somebody talk to you harshly and roughly. Do not show your anger on your face. You stay friendly to that person. Stay talk to them. Stay dealing with them and greeting. How are you? Good morning. Sometimes it's very difficult, right? To say, how are you? Good morning, somebody who we don't like, right? Normally our mind is the second stage, Get angry, then we notice anger arise, then we try to remove it, right? But number 3 is gentleman way, right? Gentlemen, even though they don't like, they do not show anger in their mind. Then stay friendly, stay talking to that person. That should be the way, right? The gentleman, I will say that gentleman way, right? Gentleman way. So we have to try to be like this, Maybe I will share my experience here. I think it was 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, here in this room, teaching. Then, as usual, I ask any question. The one student asked me a question, and of course I answer. She is not satisfied with my answer. Not only that, he implied, actually not rightly, of course. She implied to say that my answer is not right. Anger arises in my mind. Very rare. Actually, normally I do not have any. Anger normally do not arise. Even if somebody say, I'm not quite clear yet. Even somebody say like that, no anger in my mind. Because I make ready and also not to have any anger, Then she implied the way I answer is wrong. Then anger arises. Then after that, I look at my recording, whether I can see anger on my face. Lucky that I cannot see anger on my face. But here, anger is here, But I can control my anger not to arise on my face. Of course, sometimes it may arise, So at least we need to control. So it is important to practice riding on water, right? On water. Sometimes anger may arise, but it's important not to show anger on our face. Okay? So 3 types of anger, and the Buddha said, is a beautiful, is a simile the Buddha gave is very beautiful. So normally we shouldn't write a line on the rock. We may write a letter on the ground. We may have an anger sometime. It is easily erased, right? Easily erased. But we should try number 3 at least, right? Okay. Then I want to explain how to control our anger. I think it's it is helpful for you, maybe, to control your anger. So the best method to control your anger is mindfulness. Mindfulness sati is the best method to control our anger. I think one time I have shared a real story of a famous meditation master from Myanmar, and also famous writer and meditation master. He was converted from Islam, and he's very famous among the young people. And 4 years ago, I think, before COVID, he came in, stay here in our temple, and I had a chance to deal with him very closely for about 10 days. So we discuss. We take a walk. Nighttime, I massage, and we have a very close, friendly conversation with him. So he's very gentle, mindful, most of his behavior, and I do not see any anger, any dislike in his behavior, in his speech. 10 days, 10 days. Normally, when you deal with somebody about 2 or 3 days, you will see truth color, True color of the people, right? So therefore, then one time he said that when he was young, he used to be angry type person. Angry. Then I became surprised. Within 10 days, I do not see any even slight irritation. Maybe number 3, right? He may write a line on water, but I cannot see any anger in his face. Actually, he is living, the place near the muddy track. Nighttime, very noisy, No complaint, No complaint. So by that time, that place is occupied. So actually, the road nearby a muddy track is very noisy. No complaint, No complaint. So what I want to say is, he practiced mindfulness most of the time, maybe about 40 years, 40 years. Because of mindfulness, he can control his anger. So therefore, mindfulness is the best way to control our anger. So here, anger will arise in our mind. If you cannot control, anger will arise again. Still cannot control, anger will arise again. Still cannot control, anger will arise. But you, as a Buddhist, you learn that If you know your anger, that's meditation. Then you try to be mindful, sati. Mindfulness and awareness of your mental state. When you are angry, if you know your anger, that's mindfulness. That's meditation, you know. That's Buddhist meditation. We call it Chaitanya, contemplation of mind, right? Contemplation of mind. So here, sati, mindfulness came in. You have awareness and mindfulness that there's anger in my mind. But still you cannot control your anger. Anger continued. Then you have another awareness or mindfulness, sati. But still you cannot control. Anger will arise. Another anger will arise. Then you're trying to be mindful, sati, aware of your mental state in your mind. Then you still cannot control it. Anger may arise. The sati, awareness, mindfulness. Ultimately, mindfulness occupies your mind. So there is no place for anger arise. No, there's no place for anger. So, therefore, when you can look at the story of a meditation master from Myanmar. Also, he's a well-known writer, Buddhist writer in Myanmar. So he said that when he was young, he's always angry to his parents. Does not get along with even his parents, you know. So later he practiced mindfulness. Now he's so gentle, you know. So gentle. Within 10 days, you know, cannot see any dislike, you know, any disappointment in his speech, in his behavior, you know. Very rare, very rare. So therefore, the best method to control our anger is mindfulness. If you are mindful, then even though you are encountering unpleasant thing in your life, even though you are dealing with unpleasant people in your life, you do not have any anger in your mind. You are still friendly to them. You are able to deal with them, and you are able to talk to them. Mindfulness, no? Mindfulness. So therefore, in one of the sutta in Sounda Nikaya, Siddhaka Sutta, this is one of the well-known sutta from Sounda Nikaya. So there is a story of two acrobat, teacher and pupil. So they were climbing on the top of the bamboo. Bamboo is very high, at least I think 60 feet. 60 feet, you know, very high, you can see, right? Higher than this building. So they were climb up to the bamboo tree, you know, bamboo. You can see this is a bamboo. So then the teacher will climb at the bamboo and stand at the top of the bamboo. And pupil also will climb, and also he will climb, you know, at the shoulder of his teacher, master. If they fall down, both of them will die. They will die. Then, before they go up, the teacher said that, the master said that, my pupil, we are going to climb the bamboo stick, right? Bamboo. Then you take care of me. You take care of me. Similarly, I will take care of you. By taking care of each other, we'll be able to climb up the bamboo stick. Also, we'll be able to, come down from the bamboo. Then we will get the money. We will get our income, income. We will come down safely. The teacher say, you take care of me, I will take care of you. I will take care of you. Then the pupil said that, teacher, you are wrong. Teacher, I will not think in your, the way you think. I will take care of myself. I will take care of myself. I will try to balance my body. I will take care of myself. You take care of yourself. You take care standing on the bamboo. And I will try to balance my body and take care of myself if I stand on your shoulder. So by taking care of oneself, we can climb down. So we can go down. We can go down safely, and we can get income. We can get money from this by doing this job. So the Buddha talked about this story. And the Buddha said that, the Buddha commented that what the pupil said is much more logical, much more better. Of course, what the teacher says is not wrong, but the way the pupil say is better. The Buddha gave this story. So when they are climbing the bamboo stick, so they have to take care of themselves. So they have to try to take care of themselves, trying to balance themselves. So by taking care of themselves, oneself, at the same time he is taking care of the other person, right? No need to think about his pupil standing on his shoulder. Just trying to balance his body, take care of himself, standing on the bamboo. Similarly, the pupil also no need to take care of whatever happened to his teacher. He just take care of himself, trying to balance his body, right? So in that way, then they both can come down from the bamboo stick. So the Buddha said that. Similarly, we have to take care of ourselves. Then the Buddha said that by developing mindfulness, one protects oneself. By protecting oneself, that's in that way, one protects others. I'm trying to be mindful. So because of that, no anger in my mind. So there's no anger in my mind, then I treat other people in a nice way, in a nice way. So that means by developing mindfulness in my mind, I take care of myself. At the same time, I'm taking care of other people. Same time. Similarly, in your family, you practice mindfulness. You talk mindfully, you do mindfully. Then if there is mindfulness in your mind, anger cannot come in. No anger. Then when you're talking without anger, you are gentle, full of compassion, full of sympathy, right? So you are taking care of other people, right? So therefore, developing mindfulness, the Buddha said that. Developing mindfulness or cultivating mindfulness, in other words, meditation, is taking care of yourself. So when you take care of yourself, at the same time you are taking care of your environment, right? Your environment. Then, so this is a pure-based standpoint, right? And the Buddha said that by protecting others, one protects oneself. One protects oneself. So that means you're trying to protect other people. If you are protected, if other people are protected, you are protected. In the politics also, right? So some of the country they are trying to protect some countries. By doing so, they are protecting themselves. Normally, Americans, they always say that, right? they are protecting, most of the countries. Then that means they are protecting themselves, So in what way? According to Buddhism, by patience, and by non-violence, loving kindness and sympathy. So that means if other people may say, in disagreeable way, angrily, then you try to be patient, practice patience. If you practice patience to that person, so that person will stop talking in a disagreeable way, right? So that means by protecting that person, you protect yourself, By trying not to kill, other living beings, by not harming other living beings, by not bullying other beings, you're protecting yourself. They will not kill you, they will not harm you, they will not bully you, right? Similarly, when you practice non-violence, when you practice loving kindness to your family, when you practice loving kindness to your family, when you practice sympathy, compassion to your family members, you're taking care of them, right? Then your family will take care of you, take care of you. I have one devotee, so I love to talk to her. She is very concentrate, full of sympathy. So she always think about other people's feeling, Other people, let's say, emotion. Then she said that her grandchildren they left to visit her house. So her grandchildren, they left their grandmother because that lady take care of her children. She will protect her children. So when she is talking to them, full of compassion, loving kindness, sympathy, because of that, she take care of her family with the loving kindness, compassion, sympathy, full of love. Because of that, her granddaughters and grandson left her. So that means protecting others, so you are protected. Right? So actually it's very important, right? Very important. If you treat your family in a nice way, they will treat you back. When you're treating your family badly, they will treat you the same way, It's a matter of time, Matter of time. So when they are still young, they will tolerate, but when they grow old, they will show their dislike, their anger, So that means when you protect your family by way of patience, non-violent, loving kindness, sympathy, and you will be protected. Your life will be protected. Like my devotee, her life is well protected. So when she want to go somewhere, her children will sponsor everything, sponsor everything. Because of her love, generosity to their daughter and son. Okay, so this is the best method to control our anger is to practice mindfulness. To practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the way to protect ourselves. Okay, any question? I think I was trying to finish today, so we will close the class for this year. So we continue to learn next year, right? So for that, I want to complete my lesson about anger or hatred. I want to maybe let me take a few minutes. So in one sutta from Anguttara Nikaya, so the Buddha talk about 5 ways to control our anger. Number 1, developing mindfulness. Developing loving kindness, metta. Metta is a sincere wish for the welfare and happiness of all sentient beings. Sometimes we have sympathy, some people we don't like, right? Some people who make a lot of problem in our life, right? Normally when we are talking to them, when we are dealing with them, anger right away will arise, resentment will arise. So when we have a chance, and we will retaliate, right? That person. But sometimes we need to practice loving kindness. So sometimes your mind is very gentle and very good. In those times, even you see the person who do not get along with you, trying to practice loving kindness occasionally. You cannot practice most of the time. Trying to practice loving kindness occasionally. You're trying to show your sincere wish for his happiness. At least you do not talk gossip about that person. That's a loving kindness. Not controlling your gossip or divisive speeches. That's a loving kindness, right? Loving kindness. If there is a resentment toward a person, one should develop loving kindness for that person. Metta is a good way that normally have among good friends. Actually, I will not explain most of the detail. Number 2, develop compassion. It is a compassionate and sympathetic feeling when someone is suffering. So sometimes, some people may be treating you in a badly, but trying to have a compassion to that person. So he do not have a proper understanding. Because of that, he get angry. He is treating me like that, right? Compassion. Another one is developing equanimity. So some scholars translate the word equanimity as a balance. Balance. So the quality to balance our emotion. That's the equanimity. It is a equanimous and balanced mind which is not affected by anger if one sees that person and hear her or his voice. Sometimes when we see that person angry, right? Anger will arise. So then you control your emotion. So that is the equanimity. So if you cannot practice equanimity, number 4, pay no attention to that person. pay no attention to the person, right? Trying to avoid that person. Only if you cannot practice the other three, the other three. And the last, by controlling, here, pay no attention to him, me, or to her, me. Controlling 6 senses, one should try to avoid the person when recent. Even if one sees that person, one should not pay attention to that person. Normally, we are always thinking about such people, right? So, our mind occupied by that person. And the last method is applying the idea of ownership of karma. The idea of ownership of karma. The person when recent. So we have to practice the idea of ownership of karma. This person is the owner of his karma. He will be the heir of any karma, good or bad, that he does. I will not do like him or her. Wherever he do to me badly, so that will be his karma. I will not create any such karma, So that is the idea of ownership of karma. So when you are retaliating to that person, then bad consequences will come to you, right? So that is the idea of ownership of karma. So we are owner of our own karma. I will not do like him. I will not talk like that person, right? So this is a 5 method to control our anger. First, metta, difficult, right? Sincere wish, happiness for that person. But sometimes you may have, right? Sometimes you may have such thinking, such thinking. Trying to give, some present to that person, There will be a lot of changes, a lot of changes. Then compassion. Sometimes some people who are not educated, so they may treat you in a badly, compassion toward them. Another one is equanimity. Of course, this is the most powerful mental state. You're trying to control your emotion. Even that person treat you in a bad way, you don't let the anger arise in your mind. You're trying to balance your emotion. Then if you cannot practice equanimity, pay no attention to that person. Trying to stay away to that person, right? But lastly, applying the idea of ownership of karma. So whatever he do, or whatever she does, it will be her own karma. I will not create such bad karma, right? So that will be 5 methods to control our anger. Okay. Any question? You can ask one question, or maybe 1 or 2. Okay, thank you. So that will be the last lesson for this year. We'll continue to learn next year. Okay. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu Sakyamuni Bhagava Kata Kecho Paragato Bala Vidya Samangi Tanzukatan Saranatamu Bemi Raga viraga maninja masokan Dhamma Sangata Patikulan Madurami Mampagunan Suvipatan Dhamma Saranattamupemi Yattachari Namaha Palamahu Chatu Sisu Buddhisa Yugesu Attacha Pogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansaranata Mupemi Satu Satu Satu.
Thank you, Bhante.